So let's hear from our presenter to give us an overview. He is a certified health and wellness coach of Nutrilite. He is also the co-founder, the organizer of this event. He is married to Lish, worked in a corporate. So yeah, he can introduce more of himself. So please help me welcome Ryan Fernandez. Go ahead, Ryan.
Thank you so much, Jovi. That'll do. I hope everyone's having a great weekend. Kumusta kayo? I hope you're doing fine and that you're safe wherever you are right now. And it's so fantastic to use technology to bring all of us together. And I'm looking forward to sharing the next 30 minutes with you guys, and maybe we could have a good conversation. Tonight isn't really a lecture. I don't like lecturing, but I do love having a dialogue with you guys. So if you could use the chat box and comment, agree, disagree, do you have your own thoughts? That would be terrific, and you'd be adding a lot more value into tonight's event. So anyway, my name is Ryan Fernandez. Like what Jovi said, tonight I will be speaking in behalf of our community, the friends who invited you tonight. We're called Syzygy, by the way. And you can get back to your friend. They'll tell you more about what we believe in. But tonight, I just want to share that one of the things we're really passionate about is health. And I was just recently reading a book. It's called Essentialism. And in that book, they say one of the key principles you want to do if you want to live a life of success and focus and satisfaction and meaningfulness is to protect your asset. What do we mean by asset? Not your bank account, not your property, not whatever cash you've stashed away. When they say protect your asset, they mean protect your health. And today, isn't that so true with everything we've gone through in the past few years and are still going through now, if you check the headlines? If you have health, fantastic. But once you lose health, even if you have a lot of resources, it could become a very challenging situation. And you might say to yourself, hey, I don't mind if I'm not so healthy or as healthy as I want to be. It's my life. I want to do what I want to do. And I completely respect that. You make your own decisions in your life. If you think you're right, you're absolutely right. But think about this. When your health, what we think of as our personal health, actually has an impact on the lives of the people around us, because they're the people who will take care of us, who will watch over us, who depend on us as well. So health is, yes, it's a personal thing, but it's also a social thing. And if I dare say, a responsibility as well. Anyway, I don't want to preach so much. What we're going to talk about tonight is an overview of a unique and dynamic program that we've been applying to ourselves, myself included, and we're using to coach and empower other people who want to make healthy changes in their life, positive changes. That's why our topic tonight is optimal health, not just so-so health, not average health, but the best version of you, if that's possible. And before I do continue, I just want to clarify that none of this would be possible without our precious partnership with a brand called Nutrilite. Nutrilite is the world's oldest and largest brand of health supplements. Later on, I'm going to be sharing about that. And one of the things that they've introduced that we actually get to access is BodyKey, which is a family of weight management tools and resources to actually help you achieve the optimal health version of you. So with that out of the way, let me ask you, and please use the chat box. I really want to hear from you guys. This is just my question. What does being healthy mean to you? Simple as that. If you had more energy, if you had better sleep quality, if you were the ideal weight you wanted to be, you fit well into your clothes, whatever that means. If you had better immunity, something that we've been talking about lately with my friends is how to steer clear of all of the side effects right now of Manila smog. So that's actually in the news right now. And how would you feel if you had more immunity? And definitely, if you had more energy, more immunity, what are the activities you'd like to do? So I'm just going to give you a few more seconds to reply, and I'm looking forward to hearing your answers. Well, thank you, Jovi, for being such a good MC and also the first to respond. She says, travel more with family, would like to travel more. It's very difficult when you travel and you feel a lot of aches and pains. You're always drained. You're always exhausted. Fatigue is haunting you. That's not really the best way to experience travel, whether locally or internationally. Romina says more energy, sleep well, and more strength. Absolutely. We're not talking about powerlifting level strength unless you're really a power lifter. We're not here to teach you to become a bodybuilder or to be a magazine cover model. That's not what we mean by healthy. What we mean is the best version of you. And there are different metrics that we're going to use to find out how you're doing, actually. Uh, Rio says, fit well with my clothes. Isn't that true? Before anything else, I think the number one, before people try weighing themselves or measuring themselves, and some people are afraid to do so, it's really how well you fit into your clothes. Okay, I know a bunch of people who are like that. They know that they're kind of gaining weight when they feel, aha, the belt is a little bit tighter. It's a bit more difficult to button up. Okay, that's a very good observation, Rio. Thank you. Uh, Doc Belinda says, play with grandson daily. Absolutely. It's love is spelled Time. Okay. How much time are you spending with your loved ones? Yeah, it is a good feeling. Yeah, absolutely. And we can go on and on and on. And there's no wrong answer here because we have very different definitions of health because we have different backgrounds, different profiles, different stories. Your idea of health might be very different from mine. Okay. But I do agree with all of those. Those are also important to me. Now, for many people actually today, not just around the world, but specifically in the Philippines, uh, the picture of health is very different. We are facing a society that in a few more years, or actually right now, I actually attended a medical expo in Mall of Asia. And in that expo, it was discussed that almost almost nearing 40% of people, of Filipinos, are already overweight and or obese. Let me repeat it. About 1 out of 4 people. So if you're in a group of 4, one of you will already be overweight and or obese. You're way above the BMI, the body mass index. I don't know how you feel about that. Some of you might say, "Oh, that's too low." It's actually quite high. We're 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 actually facing a public health disaster happening very soon, and I see it all the time when I go to the mall. Like today is a Sunday, a lot of people eat out. It's family day. I see it when I do my groceries. My wife and I, we do our groceries. We see the things people put in their shopping cart, and I see it when I travel, when I drive, when I take the train because I try to commute when I can. Extra steps, why not? You see it, people, young people. Just the other day, I was chatting with someone in his 20s, and he's got friends who already have, who are pre-diabetic, who have gout, who are obese, and they they don't know what it takes to actually reverse that. Okay, or they know what it takes, but they're looking for a community. They're looking for someone to be accountable to. Now, what you're seeing is something that is creeping up in every family, I would say. And this is called metabolic syndrome or syndrome X. What is this? Basically, it's a cluster of 5 symptoms or signs, which the more you have of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the higher your chance of developing fatty liver, hypertension, diabetes, some neurological disorders, and of course, cancer. And what are these signs? Well, one, of course, is increased belly fat. Another is high blood sugar, high blood pressure, high triglycerides, and low HDL cholesterol, the good kind of cholesterol. When several or all of these start showing up in your blood work, in your when you're in your checkup, then you are actually exhibiting the signs of syndrome X. And today, more and more Filipinos have syndrome X. We just don't talk about it. We're not aware, but it's there. Okay. So, how do we prevent syndrome X? How do we reverse it from happening? Well, in our Optimal Health program, we discuss 4 key areas, okay, where we take a good hard look and see what can we do to be better. And these are nutrition, movement, rest or sleep, and community. Now, I'm going to go through briefly each of these 4 and explain how this connects with our partner, Nutrilite. So, for example, nutrition. We've all heard it. You have to eat a balanced diet. But the question is, what does balanced mean? Balanced for me could be eating uh, junk food every other day. Do you think that's healthy? But for me, that could be my definition of balance. So when your physician says eat a balanced diet, we also have to be more specific. So in our nutrition area, we talk about not just what to eat, but also when to eat and how to eat. Okay, mindful eating. We'll talk about 2 ideas called intermittent fasting and supplementation as well. So basically, just as a crash course, unless you've also encountered this before, uh, our body needs carbohydrates and sugar. That's our fuel for our body. So in the ideal setting, you'll get your carbohydrates from some healthy sources, okay? However, in today's setting where most of us don't really move around and we have easy access to some really, really delicious things like halo-halo or iced tea or milk tea. Everybody, milk tea is so good, but also very high in sugar and a lot of carbs. We have only rice, we have pancit, pasta, bread. A lot of the other things that we eat and drink have hidden sugars. So we actually take more than our body needs. So what happens? When you take a lot of sugar, well, your blood sugar goes up, obviously, and our body responds by releasing insulin. If you have any loved one who has diabetes, then you're very familiar with this. And then when the sugar goes down, the insulin goes down as well. But what if your lifestyle involves eating a lot of high carb, high sugar foods and drinks every day, all the time? Your sugar is constantly high, and so is your insulin. And just the same way that you could, over time, if you drink a lot of alcohol, wine and beer, you can become highly tolerant to alcohol. Over time as well, your tolerance for insulin, your insulin level doesn't go back to normal. There's a new normal. It's a bit raised. And what happens when this is high? Well, 2 things, okay? Typically, you spend it as energy, but if you're taking a surplus, it leads to storing fat in your body because your body thinks that, uh-oh, there might come a time that you need this as storage. So let me keep it as fat. The thing is, there will not be that time because we're constantly eating and food is readily available. So our body is constantly processing this. Now, what we promote in our optimal health is number one, take a good hard look at what we eat and see, hey, what can we replace with something that is nutritious, but also doesn't add to our carb intake. So some things, for example, which you may or may not know, to have low carbohydrates, meat, seafood, plant protein, okay, leafy and non-starchy vegetables, nuts and seeds. By the way, a good source of energy as well. And healthy fats and dairy. It used to be that fat is bad. That was the old way of looking at weight management. But today, there are new discoveries and new breakthroughs, and they realize that not all fat is bad. There's actually healthy fat. And the more critical factor actually is sugar. Now, there's also intermittent fasting, which is actually when you choose to intentionally eat during a window of time. So you'll only eat, for example, for 6 hours in a day or 8 hours in a day, or you eat twice or you eat just once. It depends. Tonight, we won't talk so much about it, but if you check out our Syzygy Facebook and our YouTube, you can watch our recent panel discussion on intermittent fasting, done last weekend, actually. So some of the benefits when you are a regular faster, you speed up your weight loss, which obviously helps you achieve a better BMI. It has anti-aging effects. You also have better heart health. Okay, you lower your cholesterol and your blood pressure. Improved insulin sensitivity, obviously, again, and blood sugar control. You don't have those crazy spikes happening, and you reduce body inflammation. There's a lot of research now, and a lot of ancient wisdom as well that talks about the benefits of fasting. The third concept in nutrition is supplementation. You might say, but Ryan, I like eating fruits and vegetables. I'm not really a picky eater. I'll eat anything that's leafy, that's healthy. Fantastic. Keep doing that. At the same time, consider this. Our sources of food aren't the same as they were 50 years or 100 years ago. More and more, we live in cities, and the sources of our plant produce, our meat, our poultry, all of that, our fish, are polluted or have been sapped of nutrients because of overextensive farming and climate change and all of that. Now, we firmly believe that no one can have a perfect diet. You also can't eat salads with every meal. Like your only meal is salad. That's going to be very difficult. You're not a cow. You don't have 4 stomachs. However, we can supplement. We can fill in those nutritional gaps by taking high quality supplementation. And that's where we have Nutrilite. I mentioned earlier, they're our partner. They're the world's #1 selling vitamin and dietary supplement. And everything they have in their product line comes from organic farms around the world. So let me just quickly show you a video of what Nutrilite is all about and why we're very passionate about being advocates of this kind of supplementation.
It starts with you because it ends with you. Every step, every process, every decision, we do with you in mind. That's traceability. And it's just another day at Nutrilite. It starts with owning our own organic farms and the purity of process that comes with it. Everything we grow sustainably and without harmful pesticides on over 6,000 acres of certified organic farmland. Everything we nourish starts with a seed, pure and honest, healthy and good. We carefully choose the richest botanicals and extract only the purest nutrients. We track, trace, and tag every seed, every plant, every ingredient, obsessively tending to them so they can do the same for you. And we document, review, check, and recheck every detail along the way, so you have peace of mind knowing our products are safe and effective, from seed to package to you. And while some might call this over the top, we have another name for it: Nutrilite. Nutrilite. Plant, grow, thrive.
I'd also like to share a second video on Nutrilite's latest introduction, the BodyKey weight management system. So one of the challenges, of course, when you want to eat a healthy diet is, do you have it accessible? Are you on the go? Are you tempted by junk food, fast food? Do you have the time to cook? And in today's busy world, for many of us, the answer is no. We're busy. We don't always have the opportunity to sit down and create a proper balanced meal. And this is where BodyKey comes in. So what we have with Nutrilite are meal replacement shakes to help you and assist you. It's a tool, really, actually, to help you on your journey to eating smarter, making better decisions. So every packet of BodyKey comes with this well-balanced blend of plant protein and fiber and 22 vitamins and minerals. And the ingredients are plant-based and are sourced from Nutrilite's organic farms. What you end up is 200 calories. You don't have to add milk. It's only water. Personally, I love to drink mine with ice. Sometimes I blender it. If I want extra goodness in it, I'll even blender it with avocado. But for many people, one sachet is actually quite filling. It comes in chocolate, cafe latte, and strawberry. Okay. Now, if you want to incorporate this, and this is a very simple and doable plan, one of the things that we can suggest for you is have 2 healthy, balanced meals in a day, and potentially your third meal, your dinner, because you're not so active afterwards. Most of us just sleep or, we're just in bed. Have your BodyKey shake instead. But you need to combine this as well with exercise, which we're going to talk about in a bit. If you want to speed things up, then you might want to challenge yourself with a healthy meal and 2 BodyKey shakes in a day, plus moderate exercise, of course. Now, everyone is different, like what we talked about earlier. You may have some conditions that are unique to you and that we can't address right now. So please get back to your friend. If you want to consult with your doctor, by all means, if you have any other conditions that might be important to know before starting on your optimal health journey. Okay, part of that family as well are some other weight management supplements. We have green trim. This is sourced from green tea and is a belly fat burner. So it attacks the fat around your organs, for example. The second is carb blocker. So, for example, if you have no choice, it's Christmas season basically right now, and you're forced to eat a lot of pancit, a lot of bread, a lot of cake, or you just couldn't help yourself, cheat day, you can actually take carb blocker and it cancels out up to 500 carb calories per tablet, and you can have 3 per meal. And then if you also want to speed up your digestion, your how you if you're, for example, taking a lot of food and you want to metabolize quicker, then consider as well Krompic Extra. Now, together, along with maybe some other supplements from Nutrilite, this can be a big benefit to you on your health journey because you save time. You're not pressured to, if you're challenged to create healthy, balanced meals all the time, and you get the best of both nature and science. Okay, now speaking of exercise, we're going to talk about movement a little bit quickly. But I first want to pause and read some of the comments. The shakes are really yummy and healthy. Yep. Love the berry and chocolate flavors. I don't know if anyone has tried mixing strawberry and chocolate. Maybe it will be a good combination. Christmas is coming. Actually, statistics show this is the peak of heart attacks and strokes. Yep, totally agree. We all know of a story of a family member or someone we know. They had a great Christmas, and then come New Year, come January, that's where the consequences show up. Anyway, fitness. I don't think we need to show you evidence why exercise is important. This is the cornerstone, another cornerstone of a healthy person's lifestyle. There are many benefits to exercise, from mood to weight to having stronger bone density, very important for women, stronger muscles, and of course, energy. The list goes on. Now, there are many ways that you can exercise. Maybe you're already doing a sport. Maybe you're walking. Fantastic. You're doing a lot of household chores. One way to track, for example, is to use your phone and count if you're doing 10,000 steps in a day. You don't have to run, you just do the steps. So maybe in the morning, you park far, and then you walk to the office or to the grocery or to the mall. You don't sit for long. You go to a bathroom that's far away. You take the stairs. When I take the MRT, I make sure I always take the stairs, never the elevator. For others, that could also involve about 150 minutes of exercise in a week. There are many different examples. Maybe you love yoga. Maybe you love jogging. Maybe you have access to a gym. And one of the things that is so underrated is sitting too often because of our lifestyle today. And then, of course, the lockdowns. We learn to just sit around and do everything sitting. So later on, we'll talk about having a coach and an accountability group so that you can begin to make some really solid, good habits. Okay, number 3 is rest. Again, we started with me sharing about protecting the asset. The asset is your health. And the only way that you can reset each night and help your body repair is by sleeping. Okay. Again, today we think that we have to be productive, that we're wasting our time if we sleep too often, but that is something that is very important. And the moment we defy our need for sleep, or we sleep at a different time of the day than our body clock wants it, then we begin to feel the side effects, okay? Some things that are part of our Optimal Health program: sleeping 7 to 9 hours, following your circadian clock, basically sleeping at night and being awake during the day as much as possible. Setting up your environment, because sometimes we want to sleep, we want to rest, but we have easy access to our gadgets, or our environment keeps us busy. And of course, nutrition again. Make sure you eat 3 hours before eating, nothing less, because you need that time to digest before lying down. The fourth and last aspect is community. You may have willpower, you might think that you can discipline yourself, and probably you can. But for most people, after a while, they get distracted, they get discouraged. They they see, maybe I can take a cheat day, and the cheat day becomes the cheat week and the cheat month. So what you want is to be accountable to other people, and that's very important here. Syzygy is a community. That friend who invited you is part of the community, and we encourage each other. And some of us are also acting coaches. So very quickly, some of the things that are part of being in a community is, of course, there's you. You provide the goals. It's your health, by the way. So the first person you need to be accountable to is yourself. Okay? Celebrate the small wins and be willing to measure any and all changes, whether progress or the opposite. The second part is having a coach. This is very important as well. In so many fields, you have coaches. You have gym coaches, career coaches, spiritual advisors. That's another kind of coach. You have somebody with experience and who can mentor you and keep you on track. Because by gosh, our own willpower is limited in many ways. Okay? When you win, they win as well, because you become another feather in their cap. The last is having a WAM. What's a WAM? WAM. This is a weekly accountability meeting. This is a group of people that you'll be getting together with, maybe face-to-face, maybe online, it depends, and who get to share, take turns sharing what worked for them this past week, what didn't, ways to encourage each other and learn. So together, when you bring all of these three things together, this becomes a very integral part of the process, because you cannot just do things without having a strong reason. And sometimes we need to be reminded of that reason. Okay. We also have online resources. There's a lot, of course. There's our Optimal Health Facebook group. You need to be have some requirements first before joining. There's also the Team Nutrilite Facebook group, where they have actually a gym coach who can give you examples of working out at home. And that's called the Givars effect. Anyway, some things if you want to get started, look for your coach. That could be the person who invited you tonight. There is a subscription plan for Nutrilite, by the way, so your coach will be able to explain. After interviewing you, they will help you create a meal plan or some suggested foods to eat and also foods to avoid. Some kind of exercise as well. Introduce you to your own WAM group and connect you to these health talks. You may also need to have some medical tests done depending on your health condition. So please see your doctor. And this will also involve weekly measurements and also developing the habits. You see, one hit success, that's great, but it doesn't create sustainable results. What we want to do in Syzygy Optimal Health is build habits. And habits start with actions, and actions start with intentions. And intentions, of course, start with mindset. So all of those are connected. And this is a holistic approach to being the best version of you. Okay, so very quickly, we're going to wrap up by sharing with you some examples of people who have been part of Syzygy Optimal Health. For example, we have Ariel. Ariel is a business consultant and one of our colleagues here at Syzygy. At his peak, he was 95.7 kilos, okay? And during a very challenging time, part of it during the pandemic, he reached 69.4 kilos. So roughly he lost almost more than 15. No, not 15, 25 kilos. We also have Russell. Russell is such a terrific example. She was part of our intermittent fasting panel last week. Russell was started at 73 kilos and was at 65 kilos. Actually, she had to stop because she was doing so well. She kept on losing weight. And she lost about 5 inches of to her waistline. How would you feel if the next time you wear your pants, wow, it just fits perfect? There's also Clark from basically 100 kilos to 88.5 kilos, losing about 8 inches to his waistline. He's a med tech from Cebu. Carol from Manila, about 10 kilos and 4 inches to her waistline. I know Carol personally, and she also, after achieving this, she was so into intermittent fasting. She really was successful. She had to eat again. There's Vernon. He's the husband of Russell. About 9 kilos and 7 inches to his waistline. Okay. We have tonight Aris. He's actually with us in the meeting. I'm not sure if he can speak, but if you can, just message Aris. He's based in Cebu. He's an IT professional. Aris lost about 9 kilos and 2 inches, maybe even more now. Okay. So with that, I want to go back to question number 1, which is, what does being healthy mean to you? Is it energy? Is it immunity? Is it being very strong and having a lot of vitality well into your senior years? There's a lot of different definitions. But in our belief, whatever vision of health you want to achieve, your best version of your optimal health version of you, it's going to involve making smart decisions in life and creating healthy habits. Consider Syzygy Optimal Health as a tool, as a program to help you build those right habits, which can help you make those good, healthy, smart decisions. I'm so happy to have shared some time with you, and I give you back to Jovi to wrap things up. Thank you.